In this lesson excerpt from SFS Pentatonics 2, we learn a very quick way to map the symmetric diminished scale. With this system, you're not blocked into box shapes, but instead you can freely place what I will show you in any fretboard area and any string, taking advantage of SFS or the string fragment system. I've also limited workable solutions for every situation that our pentatonics cannot handle. The first one we will do is a quick way to play the half-whole diminished scale. This scale, as its name suggests, is made up of a series of half steps and whole steps. On the fretboard, a half step corresponds to a distance of 1 fret, and the whole step is 2 frets. So when we lay this out on a single string, we start on our root note and move up 1 fret, then 2, then 1 again, and so on. Count the notes and you will see that this is actually an 8-note scale. It takes 8 notes before we get to the root again, as opposed to 7 for regular scales and 5 for pentatonics. If we begin with a whole step instead of the half step, we would have the whole half diminished scale. These two scales, the half whole and the whole half diminished, are essentially modes of each other and are collectively called the symmetric diminished scale. Actually, all structures that are made of repeating interval groups are called symmetric structures. And if we are talking about scales, they are called symmetric scales. We will look at more of this later. Now, as you will quickly figure out, it's very impractical to play this on a single string. It can be cool to do it sometimes, maybe combined with sliding as a special effect and so on. But we need to find a way to play this on more than one string in order to improvise with it freely and mix it up with our pentatonics. And once again, instead of having you memorize meaningless scale shapes, I will show you an application of SFS that will get you going with this scale immediately. This, of course, is not the only option, and I will make other lessons later that cover all diminished fingerings. But this is the quickest one, because the whole system is just one string fragment. You heard me right. In a few seconds, you'll be able to play the scale everywhere on the fretboard using just one string fragment. Here it is. You place your first finger on the root note and play these 4 notes. In this case, I'm going to do it on the A on fret 5. Then you move 1 fret up and repeat the same string fragment. Then 1 up again and repeat. And you keep going the same way, but as always with SFS, there is an exception when crossing between strings 3 and 2. So you will have to move 2 frets up at that point. So we end up with this fingering shape, which conveniently covers a wide range by moving diagonally. Now, it doesn't matter what string you start with or what key you play in, you will always get the same system. That's the beauty of SFS. Here's an example for C# diminished starting on string 3. So what you need to do now is to play through these scales a few times, decide what fingers you want to use, get some muscle memory happening and so on. Then you can use the included backing track and improvise creatively with it in the key of A. Make sure that you build the scale on every A on the fretboard, just like we did with the pentatonic scale. I'm now going to play you an example where I will go through the following practice routine that you can use in your own practice sessions as well. I will first build the system starting on the A on every string, first ascending and then descending. And then I will improvise freely and jump between fretboard areas, again using the A as the root note. So practice this yourself, and when you feel that you're beginning to get comfortable with it, then you can move on to the next lesson where we will talk about where you can use this scale and how you can mix it with your pentatonic scales in songs with complex chord changes.